All right, what makes up the perfect woman? What is the total package? If you said, man, she's the total package, what does that mean to you? 800-682-1075. People are talking about it more because the Barbie movie, when, back in the day, like, oh, man, if you had the real-life Barbie, if somebody's a real-life Barbie, that's the total package. And apparently the Barbie movie is all about how, oh, don't say that.
Well, how tall is Barbie? Do we know?
I think you can look it up. If Barbie was a real person, I think it's like totally outrageous. I think they would collapse because her boobs would be so big and her waist would be too small. And,
really?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know, too big and boobs doesn't sound like that could be possible, but.
Well, I know some extreme cases women have removed their breast implants, but or actually reduction in breast.
Yes.
You got to really have to think about that.
If Barbie were an actual woman, she would be 5'9", have a 39-inch bust, an 18-inch waist, and 33-inch hips, and a size 3 shoe.
Size 3.
Size 3.
That'd be freaky looking.
Okay, that's where it gets weird right there. That's where they're collapsing.
Yeah. That's where you topple
Did it
over.
say how much she would weigh, did you say?
It doesn't have weight on here.
She looks awfully skinny.
Here, 110 pounds.
Okay.
Around 110.
So 5'9" at 110's, I think, a little too skinny for me.
It'd be skinny, and then it'd be all boobs, and the waist would be like the waist would be freakishly small.
Yeah, I get the numbers confuse me. I don't really know. Yeah.
It says her BMI would be unhealthy.
Yeah. Like, Jason, your waist is what, like 32?
It's 31.
31. So it'd be, what'd you say?
But it's hard. It's
what? An 18-inch waist.
Yeah, so 13 inches smaller around than your waist. I mean, it's a
hard,
tiny
it's
waist.
hard, though. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, it looks too tiny.
Okay.
Yeah, she's too skinny for me.
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But so people are talking about, but what would be the total package for a woman? You can call us if you want, 800-682-1075. Think, something you're looking for in a woman, the way they look, the way they act, what they do, that you're like, yeah, that's what I want in a woman. Men are saying a woman that will put up with them. That's like what they're looking for.
I had a friend of mine one time who was getting married, and I asked him, like, what was the big thing that, like, sold him that he should marry this woman, and the first thing he said was, she puts up with my crap.
Yeah.
It's the first thing he said. Now, it didn't work out. They're divorced.
Right.
So maybe, there's a little more that needs to happen there.
Yeah, the threshold needs to be higher than just having someone who can just barely deal with you.
Tolerate you.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a photo that they did, and they basically put a person next to a real-life Barbie, which it would look like, and it's not pleasant. It's actually weird looking.
Let me see. Oh, yeah. That's
The legs are like bone thin and super long.
And then and for that body size, the boobs are just doesn't even look right.
It's huge, and then
stupid.
the stomach area, waist is ridiculous. I mean, no.
Send that to me. We'll post that so people can see that, because I think that puts it in perspective. Other people, what makes a woman the total package? A woman who can cook. And some will say, that's sexist. Don't you say that.
So we're doing we're not doing physical things.
No, they can be physical, but most of these aren't.
Okay.
Some say a great smile.
Yeah.
I do like that.
I like that. Yeah, nice smile.
Yeah, I did know that. I do. When you look, when you go on Instagram and you hit search, and all these Instagram models come up.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed
just instantly
on your For You page.
There could be a really hot girl, and I have come to the realization that if out of those photos she's never smiling and she's trying to do this like seductive look with her face, don't like it as much. It's too much.
Mm-hmm.
Have some kind of smile. We get it. You're an Instagram model. Smile sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes you think that you're just miserable and they're just so materialistic.
Yeah, and I feel like a good smile goes along with a good personality.
I agree.
And if you don't have a good smile and you don't smile a lot, you're probably just not
Matt.
a good person.
No, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt has RBF for guys.
Yeah, I tried to break the mold there, but
yeah, I mean, if a woman's not smiling a lot, especially if it's like you're dating.
Yeah.
But it's going to be bad news.
Depressing.
Yeah, because it's not going to get any better.
But
it doesn't get better.
It's not always the case. Sometimes it's the way your face falls. But yeah, they could be. There's probably friendly, RBFs.
hello.
Matt's a friendly
I
RBF.
try to be.
That is true.
Yeah.
A sense of humor. Men are saying it makes a woman a total package. A sense of humor. I think it's few and far between like legit funny women.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As far as because guys' humor is so different than I think a lot of female humor. So if y'all match up on that, I think it's a big deal.
Yeah.
At least be able to get the jokes and the references.
Yeah, you don't have
and
to.
things
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. You don't have to be the comedian,
Right.
but as long as you laugh at things and you find things funny,
Yeah.
you can sense the humor.
Yeah.
And that's to me that's a big deal. You got to be able to laugh, and plus, I think all of us, whether you like to admit on the show or not, always have extremely dark humor. I know I have probably the darkest.
Yeah.
Although Squid sometimes he says something like, "Oh, wow."
Yeah. I like dark humor for sure.
I do too.
Yeah, Jason. And so if you can't roll with that, it's a damper.
Mm-hmm.
What about to make a total package for a woman? People are saying this makes a woman the total package if she has empathy. Empathy and
Yeah, that's
patience.
important.
Yeah. Patience,
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah. I guess that kind of goes along with putting up with.
Yeah, or
very
just
empathetic and patient.
Well, life is. There's so many things that happen that are going to be, a problem. But if people if you hear maybe somebody's going through a tough time and the person's like, well, I don't care, or they deserve that, like Katie does sometimes. It's like they were going 1 mile over the speed limit and crashed and died. She's like, that's what they deserve. I'm like, okay, Katie.
Right.
They're
still human.
They're still human being. And look, you've made mistakes. I made mistakes. We didn't deserve to die on the one mistake we made. But yeah, I think empathy is a big one. They have some other things, but I want to get to you guys. What do you think? Squid. You're single. You're dating.
Yeah.
The total package, and it could be physical.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have a butt, gotta have a wagon,
Have to have a
some
wagon.
booty cheeks. Yeah. Because at first I thought this was gonna be like a physical thing, but I
You
mean,
guys are so shallow.
yeah.
Why would you assume that?
Yeah. But yeah, a booty and a sense of humor are just my two. I feel like if I can laugh with you, you got a booty. That's it. That's
Now,
all
if they have a
that's all I
booty,
need.
let's say you do mind if they're like a little bit bigger, like they're like a little bit chubby.
thick, yeah, I don't mind.
You don't mind? Okay.
Yeah, I don't mind that. And I guess you got to be trustworthy. I guess I got to be able to trust you.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
trustworthiness. I guess.
Yeah, I don't care how hot someone is. If you don't trust them,
Yeah,
that's a
just
night. That's a
paranoid
nightmare.
the whole time. And
Yeah, you're like,
in your head all the whole time. Not fun.
no.
No.
And then you call us 800-682-1075. What makes the woman a total package to you? And you can call online and say all the stuff if your wife's listening. Like, I think I like it when she yells at me. All right, Matt, what about you?
I've always been the more of a boob guy than a butt guy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then smile and lips combination. When it comes to personality,
Wait, what do you prefer with a smile and lips combination?
good teeth and
Super thin lips, right?
yeah, like super, like can't even see lips.
What, do you like big lips? Is that
I
what you're
like
saying?
bigger lips. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
bigger lips and good teeth and boobs over butt. If I had to, I mean, obviously both are great. But as far as like personality wise,
Wow.
somebody who gets the fact that we can have some similar interests, but we don't have to do every single thing together.
True.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Just because I'm really into football doesn't mean you have to sit and watch football with me if you're not into it.
If you're not into it.
Yeah,
Right.
I can see that. I think there's a balance there, right? So some certain things you want the other person to at least try to see if they're
Sure.
interested, or maybe even do something they might not have been interested before.
Yeah.
But then, faking is not great either.
But if there's like let's say there's a game and I want to go to the game and I know that she's not into it, instead of just being like, well, we have to be together, so I'm going with you, it'd be more like, no, take somebody who's actually going to enjoy the experience with you and you're going to have fun with.
right.
Yeah.
I'd rather
No.
have that versus, well, I'm going to come and not know anything that's going on, just be a bump on a log.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's no fun.
I remember one time, and it's audacious to me, but I give Matt credit, and maybe that's why his marriage works and mine don't. But he was at the beach, and he was like, yeah, I just told my wife I'm going to go see my friends that are like an hour away, and I'll see her tomorrow. And I was like, you just told her that? You didn't ask? And he was like,
Yeah.
yes, I'll be back tomorrow. And she was like, okay. I'm like, wait, you can just say things you're going to do?
Yeah, and it was
It's shocking to me.
it was a beach trip with her family.
You're like, see ya.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I'm going to take
Wow.
off tomorrow. We're going to go play golf and drink, and I came back the next day.
Nice.
And didn't ask. Told her.
Well, I mean, I think if you set it up ahead of time, if you're like, oh, while we're there, I'm going to try to catch my friends, and then I'll meet. Is that cool? But I don't think not everybody will be like, oh, my family's coming to town. We're all going to go to the beach together as family. All right, I'm out.
Well, then last week, and Katie's on vacation, and she would share this, but like Ben, her husband Ben, had planned to play golf twice on Friday. Twice.
Yeah, that's
I know
crazy.
guys that love golf, and they might
Yeah.
play twice a year, maybe. If they have kids, like in their similar situation.
Mm-hmm.
And then she came in Friday, and I was like, "What's up?" She's like, "Oh man, I'm so hungover from the pool and da 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 da." And I was like, "Where was Ben?" "Playing golf." "Oh, so he's playing golf twice on Friday and then also on Thursday." Ben pimping, dude.
Ben pimping, baby.
Man, that's the way you do it. You just do what you want, and then they're like, "Okay."
And she's got to watch the kids.
Yes, right.
Wow.
So 15 hours of golf in 2 days. Pretty strong. Pretty freaking strong. For me as a freshly divorced person.
Mm-hmm.
But always, I have too many things that I like, but they're not deal breakers. But for a woman to be a total package, I don't think I'm a boob or a butt man. I like both. Is that being selfish?
No.
Boob,
Well, you're saying total package, so you got to say what you like.
But, and I know it's hypocritical, flat stomach. I do like pretty eyes. They don't have to be blue or anything, but just pretty big eyes.
Yeah,
just pretty eyes.
Pretty eyes.
Be brown or blue. But and then I like someone who's tan. All the things I'm not. All the things like they're just
Tan is
natural.
good.
Yeah, tan.
Well, not super like fake, but
No,
if you're just white, like you haven't been in the sun, not if you have fair skin, but if you have the potential to get a tan.
yes.
You're just blatantly white. It's like, that's an easy fix. I don't know why.
And then they have to have a good personality, like Squid said, someone you can trust. And I think someone who is big on being flexible in life, because nothing goes as planned. If you're rigid, you have rigidity, life is going to be very difficult for you and everyone around you. Because things just happen and you have to roll with it. You might have the best laid plans. We're going to do all this and it falls through. Or we were planning on, maybe you're looking to buy a house as a couple and you're like, we can't do it. We need to wait. Or just things happen day to day. You got to be able to just roll with it. If not, it's a problem. Jason Goodman, I know this is probably a difficult question for you to ask you things about physical. I know that's very shallow and you don't like doing that. But
well, I try to incorporate, after thinking for a long time, some personality things into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, but overall, I would say for personality standpoint, you have to be able to keep secret to your significant other and above everybody else. You have to be able to trust what you say to your significant other, and it stays between you, not anybody else.
okay.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would kind of fall on the secrets and trust. Also, the significant other has to want sex all the time.
Oh, I forgot about that part. Well done.
Yeah, that's a good one.
How did we all skip that one?
All right, actually, let's move that first part up. Sex all the time, then keep secrets and trust.
About the freaky stuff you do in the bedroom.
And then I think this is a big one for as personality goes. Engage in the conversation. I think right now, the cell phones or mobile phones are so distracting that you're talking with, and the person's not even, if the person's not looking at you, or at least trying and making an effort to be engaged of what you're saying, even if it's the most interesting thing. I mean, before phones were all the time, you would still look at the person talking regardless of what they were saying. So I think that's important.
Yeah, and at least be interested in what you're talking about. Or,
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to. It's not have to be the super engaged, but just
like everything's like,
off
oh
the
my
phone.
gosh, Jason, that's great. So like, pay attention a little bit.
Now, as far as some physical traits, I do like. I think not super skinny lately, not the Victoria's Secret model, but not super overweight or anything. So I think a little bit curvy.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I like medium to a little bit larger size boobs, but not too big.
Okay.
Perky, not saggy. Round butt.
Yeah.
Round, not flat and bone. This is just for me.
Yeah, this is what you like.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Straight here. I like straight here.
Okay.
So get the flat iron. It's a fix. Blonde, preferably.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Also, don't wear flats.
I agree.
That's
Flats.
probably
what are flats again?
flats are just not anything with a heel, except sneakers. Sneakers are okay, but it's like the flat
Like Keds.
shoes. It looks like they're slippers.
Yeah.
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 I can even I like wedges is okay. Some kind of something on the back, unless it's a sneaker.
Yeah, and your wife's about the same height as you without shoes on, right? Or a little bit taller?
Yes, about the same.
About the same, but when she wears the wedges, she's 2 or 3 inches taller, and that doesn't bother you. You'd rather have wedges than be.
Well, heels are even worse sometimes. They're much taller. Because wedges you can get decent wedges that aren't super tall, so the heels will make her tower over me. I don't mind.
Yeah, and Jason, I feel your pain because somebody I've gone out dates with and different things. She's as tall as me, and then when she wears wedges, I totally feel you now, dude. I mean, I you know, being
It's not bad though. for me.
and I'm taller than you, but so when she's wearing wedges or heels, she's like 6 foot. And the first time I kissed her, I was legit on my tiptoes. and that was a little like my
That's
masculinity took a hit on that one.
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
was seriously on my tiptoes, and I
Wow.
was like,
That'd be funny to watch.
And sometimes if you're out and about,
Like,
you can see guys going, "That girl can't be with him."
literally every time we go out. All right, let's go to Patricia. Patricia, you said you knew a guy who had a must-have list for a future wife?
Hey, I went to college with a guy who had a list of 10 things that his wife had to have. And the number one thing that she had to do was to give him a son. Their firstborn child had to be a son. Well, he met the girl that he believed fit most of the 10 things that he wanted. Not sure what the other 10 were. I can't remember. It's been over 40 years. But he went ahead and married her, and she knew about this list. So they got pregnant right away. Jared will understand. This was at BYU.
Oh, yeah.
And
Church
they had, she and I were delivering at the same time. I had a little boy. She had a little boy. She handed her husband divorce papers on the labor or the delivery room table.
Oh my
What?
gosh.
Because she was so angry with him that he had this list that she had to fulfill. And he didn't realize, I guess, even though he was a college student, that it was his fault whether it was going to be a boy or a girl.
That sounds just insane.
Yeah, that's over the top. That's
Thank you,
out of your
Patricia.
control. And I was like that too. I didn't have to necessarily say you have to have another boy, but I was just like, I want another boy. And now I'm happy as anything with a girl.
Yeah, no, you're like totally wrapped with Everly.
Yeah.
Although I think it was I think at her second birthday, you started saying she was a girl.
Yeah,
took
I didn't
you a while.
accept
It took a
right
while.
away.
I didn't help. I think at like a baby shower or stuff, I bought all boys' clothes, even though we knew it was a girl.
Yeah.
Just because Jason was like, well, it still could be it might be a boy still.
You
Like,
never
no,
know.
it's definitely a girl.
They could have made a mistake. No, I was, but more. I'm glad that happened because it just gives you totally different perspective on kind of life in a way.
It does.
and just see things differently and all that stuff. So, I'm very grateful that I had boy and girl.
Yeah, it does. It does. I think you're very fortunate as a parent if you have both.
Yeah.
Because I had a girl first, and that was like I was wrapped right away, and then a boy, and I was like, yeah, and I have 2 boys and a girl, and it's obviously very different, but you do feel like you're getting a full picture of what you learn so much.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2 different mindsets too as they get older. It's like the pros and the cons. Like, girls get to a certain age, and it's like, oh, they can't reason right. And then, I'm just kidding.
That's usually when they're out of the house. That's when they're out of the house on their own. And the thing is, I think Everly's more of a boy, and Lana's more of a girl, maybe a little bit sometimes.
Everly is very girly. I will
Yeah.
say that, but she's super aggressive. That's the
Competitive,
thing.
yeah.
Very.